I got some disappointing news for Rock fans out there. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm talking about, because The Rock, he has been in the headlines the last few months, just dominating, just crushing it, whether it be for his WWE stuff, whether it be his new skincare product, his movies, whatever. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he is in the news. Now, of course, let's go back. Let's go back to January, right? He appears on a Monday Night Raw event. He's the big former WWE champion surprise. He interrupts a Jinder Mahal promo. He lays out Jinder Mahal, a little winded when he's doing all of that physical activity, but he looked solid on the mic. And then he dropped the head of the table line, and it's like, oh, here we go. Rock versus Roman Reigns, WrestleMania, let's go. And then Cody Rhodes wins the Men's Royal Rumble match. He pointed to Roman Reigns, who was sitting at the venue, in the suites, watching on, at the Royal Rumble, and Cody Rhodes made it very clear that he was coming after Roman Reigns. And then The Rock shows up. The Rock shows up in Birmingham, Alabama, and he pushes Cody Rhodes aside. He, after joining the TKO board of directors, after getting the IP for the Rock name, getting the IP to all of the catchphrases that are associated with The Rock, he pushed and got key TKO executives on board with the idea of, okay, let's finally do Rock versus Roman Reigns, a match that WWE has tried to do for years, and it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. Think about it, y'all. It was going to happen at WrestleMania 37 in 2021, but that was nixed because they only had half a stadium filled of fans because of the pandemic. Then it got pushed back to Dallas, Texas at WrestleMania 38 in 2022, but they felt like, well, we're going to Los Angeles the following year. Let's push it back a year. We'll get more mainstream media coverage. Okay, great. WrestleMania 39, 2023. They couldn't agree on creative because Rock wanted to do something that would change the business, which is such a ridiculous statement. And that's coming from a guy who grew up being a Rock fan. Then we get it. He challenges Roman Reigns, essentially. He has a showdown with Roman Reigns, and we're off to the races. It's going to happen. Rock versus Roman, WrestleMania 40. But then, days before the press conference, the WrestleMania press conference, where it was going to be announced Rock versus Roman Reigns, plans changed. The Rock realized, you know what? These people are a little mad. We're not going to do this match. So he turned heel. He aligned with Roman, and now he's with Roman and the Bloodline, and they're going to face Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania Night 1, with the stipulation that if the Bloodline wins, then it will be a Bloodline rules match when Cody Rhodes challenges Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. However, should the Bayface go over, then The Rock and the rest of the Bloodline, well, they're banned from ringside, right? Okay, so what's the big disappointing news, Rock fans? Well, I can tell you, because The Rock, he has another Hollywood role lined up, which is slated to begin filming soon, because the former WWE champion is slated to portray an MMA fighter in a drama movie that will come from A24. Now, this same studio sounds familiar, and there's a good reason, because they made the Iron Claw movie about the rise and fall of the Von Erich family that was released last year. To do so, Rock will team with director Benny Safdie, who directed Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. That's such a good movie. And this upcoming project is called The Smashing Machines, where The Rock will portray Mark Kerr, a two-time UFC heavyweight tournament champion. Okay? $7 Production, which is The Rock and Danny Garcia's production company, they're on board with this. And if you don't know, Kerr is a guy who, he earned the nickname The Smashing Machine because of his fighting style, but unfortunately, he got addicted to painkillers that led to an overdose. Now, this is where the bad news comes in. PW Insider reports the movie will be in production for 3 months, starting May 1st, ending on August 1st, with filming locations taking place in Los Angeles, New Mexico, Tokyo, and Vancouver. Now, there had been a report about a week ago that WWE was hoping to have The Rock work a second match in 2024, because let's go back. Rock versus Roman Reigns, that's still on the table. It's just not going to happen at WrestleMania 40. So when is it going to happen, right? A lot of people, including those in WWE, think, well, WWE goes to Saudi Arabia twice a year. Saudi Arabia pays the company a ton of money. You could get Rock versus Roman Reigns in a Saudi Arabia show. Now, reportedly, they are headed to the country in May. Last year, they held the Night of Champions event. I don't know what the theme of this PLE will be, and no one really cares, but whatever. And then in November, they go and they host its annual Crown Jewel event, which is usually the bigger of the two, but I digress. Or you could save it for WrestleMania 41. Currently, Minnesota, specifically Minneapolis, they just made a bid to host WrestleMania 40 in 2025. I've heard Las Vegas is also a front runner to host the event. You could do Rock versus Roman Reigns then. Here's the bad news. Rock is going to be off television following Mania, essentially, right? Because he's going to go and film this movie. He also has the XFL or whatever they're calling his new football league. That launches in late March. So he's going to be off and running with that. He also just came out with a new skin line. This is all to be said that Rock will be off television for a while. And we're not going to get Roman Rock at the next Saudi Arabia show in May. Okay, that's been ruled out. August 1st, that's 2 days before SummerSlam on August 3rd. So you're not going to get any build-up on TV for SummerSlam. So Rock, Roman at SummerSlam, that ain't happening either. That leads me to think they're going to do it at WrestleMania. Now, you could do the match at the Crown Jewel event in Saudi Arabia in November. You could. I just don't see that. I just don't see Rock going over Saudi Arabia. He doesn't need the money. It's not the money aspect. I mean, this guy is one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid actors in all of Hollywood, right? He does not need the money. So why would he go over to Saudi Arabia and wrestle if he doesn't need the money? That just doesn't make any sense. It's also the biggest match that WWE can book right now, Rock versus Roman. Well, where do you put such a match? You put that such match on a WrestleMania card. Well, you don't have a main event right now for WrestleMania 41, as far as we can tell, right? So why not? Go back to the well. Go back to your original plans. Do something in which you wanted to do to begin with. And I think Rock versus Roman Reigns is the perfect headliner for WrestleMania. Let me know down in the comments area below. Do you think this is something that WWE should explore for WrestleMania 41, or do you think it should happen at another event? Let me know down in the comments area below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can be notified anytime that we upload new content to the channel. Friends, I will see y'all in the